Hello everybody, this is Jeff Janess and welcome to our fourth lab exercise on selections, joins, and relates. And in this exercise we're going to be doing a lot like what we did in the second lab exercise. We're going to be selecting some survey points near Flagstaff based on proximity to roads and whether they're inside a Forest Service project area polygon. These questions are actually right on the homework itself, so I'm going to show you how to do them here, but I'm going to hide the actual number answers. So, let me know if you have any trouble with them. All right, so first off, we're going to load up the National Forest All Roads feature class. We're going to open up the Eldon Small Project, and we're going to add the survey points. Then we're going to put the world imagery behind it just to give us a reference. First thing, let's add us in a new map. Let's add the Coconino All Roads feature class. We're going to add it using the layer file. That's All Roads. Now let's add the Eldon Small Project Area polygon. Let's add the survey points. And now let's throw in the imagery background. I'm going to make a couple of quick adjustments just to make this look a little better on my screen. First off, I'm going to set the imagery to be partially transparent so it's not quite so in your face. I select the layer, come up to the Tile Layer tab. I'm going to change the transparency to that. Looks good to me. Now we're going to zoom into the Eldon Small Project polygon. Right click and go to Zoom to Layer. We're in the region we care about. I'm going to set the transparency of this one a little bit too, just so I can see underneath it. Feature layer, transparency. And finally, these points are a little hard to see on this map just because they're so small, so I'm just going to make them a little bit bigger. We right click on survey points, go to symbology. Here's all the symbols for each class of point. I'm going to hit the more. Format all symbols. This just lets me change the size of all of them. So we're going to click on properties. Here is the size. They're at 3 point. Let's make them 10. Hit apply. Okay, a little bit bigger, a little easier to see. All right, now let's dive into this. First question. We're going to open the table for the Coconino National Forest All Roads, and we're going to find out exactly how many road features are in that feature class. So to do that, you just right-click on All Roads. You could also select it and hit Control-T, but I'm just going to right-click and go to Open Attribute Table. And the total number of roads is right here at the bottom of the table. Next question. Using the statistics tool on the attribute field miles, what is the total mileage of all these roads? Well, the attribute field miles is on the far right of the table, so let's scroll over to the right. Here it is. And we're going to run the statistics tool on miles, and we're going to add up all of these values. So this is the mileage of each individual road. To get the total, we right-click, go to Statistics, and we look at the sum of the statistics, which is right down here. So this is the total mileage of all the roads on the Coconino in this data set. Just under 1/3 of the way around the world, in case you're interested in that kind of trivia. All right, let's close that up. Next question, we're going to use the Select by Attributes tool to find all the Coconino National Forest roads that have this operation maintenance level equal to the basic custodial care. It's basically the closed roads. If you see the basic custodial care, you see this little dashed line. Well, that's these right here. These have been closed. This is actually the Pipeline Road, goes at the base of Mount Eldon, and as you know, it's not open for public traffic. You see some pipeline company people going back there every once in a while, and the Forest Service goes back there if there's a fire or something. But otherwise, the road is not open. It's kind of a walking path. People like to walk their dogs out there. Anyway, we want to just see how much of the Coconino National Forest itself is classified as this category. So it's a Select by Attributes. Let's go to the Map tab, Select by Attributes. we're selecting the Coconino roads. This is a brand new selection on the roads where the operation maintenance value right here is equal to basic custodial care. This is what it looks like in SQL mode. Hit apply. Those roads are now selected. So we would just open up the attribute table one more time. And now when we run the statistics tool, we will get separate statistics for all of the roads as well as just those selected roads. So let's right-click on this, go to statistics again. You might notice there's two columns, data set and selection now. And the selected, this is the total mileage of all of the basic custodial care roads on the Coconino. All right, next question. We're going to use the select by attributes table on survey points. We find out how many of them have a class value greater than or equal to 6. All right, so survey points. We're going to do a select by attributes on survey points. It's a new selection on survey points where class is greater than or equal to 6. Here it is in SQL. Hit apply. You can see the points being selected. Now if we want to know how many there are, we would either open the attribute table, and it's right here at the bottom, or we could switch this to the list by selection, in which case you would see the total value, total number selected over here on the right. Okay, next. So we've answered how many survey points have a class value equal to 6. Next question is how many survey points intersect the polygon. So basically how many points are inside this polygon. So that's a select by location. We're going to do survey points that intersect the polygon. It's a new selection and there should be no search distance. Hit apply. Visually we see that the points within the polygon are selected. This all looks good. You might be concerned about this one. It looks like it might be a little bit out. If you zoom in a little bit, you'll actually see that it is just barely inside the polygon. So we have correctly selected all the points inside the polygon. The answer is how many of them are there. It's right here on in the survey points section here, or it is in the attribute table down at the bottom. So the answer is down here. Now the next question, we've done an attribute query, we've done a location query. Now we have to combine them. So how many survey points have a class value greater than or equal to 6 and are inside the polygon? Well, now we're going to switch up the types. So first up, let's do the select by location, intersect polygon, hit OK. We have the initial set. Now from this group of candidates, we want to select just those points that have a class value greater than or equal to 6. So that is a select by attributes, survey points, class greater than or equal to 6. But the selection type has to change. Now we are selecting a subset from the current selection. All right, hit apply. And now we see that only some of them are still selected, several of them became unselected, and the answer to the total number is here. If you're looking at it in the list by selection function, it's right here. Or you can open the attribute table and the answer is down here. Okay, let's start building up more criteria. Question 3. We'll start with, okay, first off we have to select the Coconino roads that are classified as custodial care. So let's just start with the Coconino roads. It's an attribute query. Coconina Roads, a new section where operation maintenance is custodial care. This is still left over from our last one. So we hit apply. Now we want to use the Select by Location tool to select all the survey points that are within 400 meters of these roads. Okay, that's a Select by Location on the survey points. We're going to do survey points are within a geodesic distance. This is the best, most accurate way to calculate this. Comparing it to the selected roads, so we pick our roads here and the tool correctly recognizes that a certain number of them are selected. The search distance is within 400 meters, and it's a new selection on the survey points. Hit apply. Okay, if you like, you can zoom out here just to confirm visually that the only points that are selected are those close to the selected roads. So that's looking good to me. And the total number of survey points that meet this criteria is right here in this pane, as we saw before, or in the attribute table if you prefer. So that's how many survey points are within 400 meters of those roads. But now we want to select from that group how many of those survey points are also inside the Eldon Small Project area. All right. This is another Select by Location. We're again selecting survey points. This time we're comparing it to the Eldon's project area, and we only care about those that intersect the polygon. Search distance has to be 0, or otherwise we'd be getting points 400 meters outside the polygon. This is not a new selection. I'm only wanting to select from the currently selected set, so it's going to be a subset. Now I'm watching the map as I do this. I have all of these points that are already selected, and I know I'm trying to get just those that are inside the polygon. So I watch the map. When I hit apply, I want to see just the points inside the polygon remain selected. All of the selected points outside stop being selected. So hit apply. Okay, good. It did just what I want. So the correct number of points that meet this criteria, that are both within a distance of the road and inside the polygon, is again right up here in the selection pane or in the attribute table of survey points. Now the question 4 just picks up from question 3, and we add a new criteria. So question 4 wants all the points within 400 of the custodial care roads that are also inside the polygon, and that's what we're at right now. So now we just have to select a subset of these currently selected points that have the class value greater than or equal to 6. So that's a select by attributes. Select by attributes on survey points, where the class is greater than or equal to 6. And it is not a new selection. That's important. We're taking a subset of these currently selected points. So it's going to be a select a subset. When I hit the OK, I should see some of these selected points become unselected, but nothing new out here becomes selected. Hit OK, and it did just what I want. And the correct answer is up here in the selection pane again, or in the attribute table. All right, that's all there is to it.